Hello and welcome back to another CommLink reaction video. I'm Stubb and I'm joined with Silvius. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
And today we're going to take a look at some more CitizenCon footage, and in particular, server meshing. Do I have that right?
Yeah, so this is, I think they're showing off the replication layer and the first iteration of server meshing here. Yeah, I think it's mainly showing server meshing working on a local system.
And server meshing, of course, one of the big pieces of tech we've been waiting on for quite some time now for Star Citizen, in particular, so that we can bring in other star systems, right? Like Pyro, for example. So this is huge for the game, what they're about to show us.
Yeah, that's why we kind of skipped over most of the panel for this video and going straight to the server meshing stuff, because it's going to make the whole game happen if it works out. So all right, let's check it out.
Here we go.
Persistent entity streaming, replication layer and beyond. My name is Paul Reindell. I'm Director for Online Technology. And I'm going to show you a little bit insight in our technology for persistent entity streaming and the replication layer. I thought about what's the best way to show you something about that tech. And I thought about putting some technical drawings on the slides, or maybe show video like we did 2 years ago. But really, the best way to show you how persistent entity streaming works is to give you a live demonstration. And that's what I'm going to do. All right.
Do you hear them bring that audience volume up a little bit?
So please bear with me if there's any glitches. So let's keep this rolling. I think I'm supposed to press the button. No, it's already switched. Before we start, a little bit, I just give you a little bit an overview what you see here. Let me set up everything.
Got to check his email.
Tell open up Facebook. He might subscribe to somebody.
I think he's about to pull up Silvius on Twitch.
Sorry. So on this left side, you will see my client window. And on the bottom side, you will see the server renderer. So for this demonstration, and I start a second client, I'm just stopping that. Sorry about that. This is live, all right. So again, on this side, you see the client. And he just logged out because I started a second client. So let's do this again. One more time. On this side, you see the server renderer, which is currently, it has nothing streamed in. I'm showing a small demonstration level. And on this side, you see the entity graph, which is our online database. That's powering what you see in persistent entity streaming, what you play since 3.18. And I also have some metrics on the screen, which shows the entity graph worker, the requests per minute, per second, the mutations. And you also will see entities created and destroyed
like a dork.
once I do that.
Just a little bit.
All the time.
So you find yourself watching something like this.
Wait for my client to come up and join this level.
I accept it, though.
Yeah. So the first thing that will happen when I join this level, you will see on that server, everything streams in. And my client gets connected and also streams in everything on the client view. What would happen on the behind the scenes is that my player just got unstowed into that shard, and we at real time created everything for this player. So you will see his body is attached to the player. You will see his mobi-glass, his head with all his customizations, his undersuit, and then all his customizations as well on the undersuit. What you also see is that this player just got unstowed and attached to a static zone object container. And this is how our zone system works. Basically, on the server, you will see 3 different zones, purple, green, and red. And each zone comes with its own coordinate system and its own physical
Do you need me to
grid.
point out where
this
they are?
is how we actually, on live, do zone transitions between
I
your
don't
ship,
see red at the bottom
empty
left.
space,
It's the
space
back
station,
of the
or
shape
planet.
there,
Okay.
the back square.
And you will see,
Yeah.
as I walk between those zones, I will, at real time, update it in that entity graph. And this all happens seamless. So for a client, this is completely transparent. You don't notice that. But this is actually what's happening when you step in or out into a ship. And this is very unique to our engine. No other engine has this zone system. And that allows us to do all the amazing stuff you saw in the videos before, transitioning in and out of planets
are the
and
zones
go
the meshing?
from the smallest scope to the largest scope.
Yeah, I think he gets a little more into it, but basically, if you saw on the right there, when he
Yeah.
walked into that green zone, that rectangle on the right kind of switched to the one above it,
Right.
and that represents the other zone. So I guess that zone is now handling the player and all the stuff attached to it. And then when he like goes in between them, it moves to those different rectangles depending on which area he's in, you know? So I guess, as far as I understand it, each color section is a different server.
Right, right. And it's seamless, it looks like.
Right.
I mean, from what they just showed, like there was no hiccup that I saw happen. So,
Yeah,
man, this is crazy.
I'm pretty small brain when it comes to development, but yeah, as far as I understand it, that's what he's saying. He'll get a little more into it though.
But just that idea that you're switching servers and you cannot tell, like I don't know, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he says, no other engine does it, and obviously I have no idea about what other engines do. But if that's the case, this is like cutting edge technology and could like change how games are made.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they start to sell the tech,
yeah,
let's
see what happens here.
So everything we do in a shard, so this is like a mini level, like the mini PU level, is also persisted in this database. When we create new entities in our engine, in Star Engine, those entities get pushed into our entity graph, into our online database at real time, and then from there replicated to our client. So if I go ahead and spawn a couple of plushies here, you will see they spawn, they get created immediately on my entity graph and replicated on the server and on the client. So spawn a couple more here. And you see this penguin.
I'm just going to say, this is cool watching this for the second time because like the whole like entities populating on the servers on the graph there kind of like went over my head the first time. So yeah, just watching it a second time really helps get some context to it.
I spawn in the other zone, get
is he going to throw these back and forth between servers?
And then if I go and transition one of those, they will also transition between the different zones. And the same works for ships or more complex entities. If I spawn this buggy here, you will see this one gets created with all its attachments and everything else attached to it. And this is just my small demo level here. On live, we have up to 600,000 dynamic entities that get created for one single chart.
Crazy.
And this is just the initial state. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks of gameplay, when you guys go in and destroy stuff, spawn stuff, play around, it goes in the millions of entities. So this in itself is pretty amazing tech.
That's insane.
The next time I want to talk about is our streaming system. Most engines do stream on texture or geometry. We actually stream entities, and we do stream persistent entities. So when I turn on the streaming system here and I walk into this, if I walk over to the red area, you will see that the purple area will stream out together with all the entities on that server. So it does not only stream out on my client, it actually streams out on that server. And when I come back in the green zone, that purple zone streams back in with all the entities in there with their full persistent state.
Beautiful.
So now I have a second player join. Benoit is going to join me. So Ben, if you want to join, okay, I think you see him over there. Hey, Ben. Sorry. Nice. All right, I'm going to spawn a couple more penguins here. Because the next thing I want to talk about is new technology we are right now developing and we are about to put on the tech preview for you to play. And this is actually the replication layer split.
So this is coming next week.
And that's the big next step in our great vision, obviously, as you might know.
On the preview channel. Right.
So in this demo, my client and my servers, they are no longer directly connected. Actually, I have a new service running here, and that is our replication service. So my client is connected to this replication service, and my server is connected to this replication service. And the replication service, the sole purpose is to get all the entities which are in the entity graph and stream them to clients and servers which are connected to. And what's really cool about this is, let's do a little experiment here. I mean, you all know our game has bugs. It's still alpha, and sometimes things can happen.
Just a few.
So let's see what's happening when I kill my server here. And so this is my server, the actual console. So let's just shut it down. And yes, this is where you would usually see a 30K or something. You can see Benoit kind of froze there for a bit. And the buggy does a bit weird stuff. I can shoot those pingus, but the world is really in a frozen state right now. But I didn't disconnect, because I'm connected to the replication layer and not to the server anymore. In the meantime, I'm just starting a new server. Let's be a bit patient for it. It should come back online in a second. And as you can see, now that the server came back,
wow,
it restored the state. It restored the state, and the simulation just continues to work as before.
No more 30K.
This will be,
that's incredible.
Again, this is very early tech, but this is a great benefit of what we have with our replication layer split. But there's one more thing. And let's try this thing again. I just killed my server, and I'm trying to do that again. But this time, we're doing something different. So let's first go in here. This is my development tool. I can talk about it in a second. So let's stop that server again. And restart. And this will take a little bit. I'm running this tool you see here. This is our internal development tool.
Find some cover.
This tool runs the entire stack of our game on this PC.
I guess it puts you back in the same spot no matter what you do.
Only, and I can do that with my small
while
test
the server's
level.
down.
But this really helps online devs and all people who work on the incredible, complicated tech we here to be able to develop our game. And because I run everything on this PC, it's a bit slow. So let's wait and see what's happening here.
But they didn't say if you're gonna just gonna freeze like that, or if there's gonna be a loading screen.
Simulation continues. I can see Ben moving again. Hey Ben.
Not exactly sure how it's gonna work yet.
What just happened? Well, as you can see on my screen, I no longer have one server connected. I have 3 servers connected to this replication layer. So what you guys see here, this is the very first version of a working server mesh.
They did it.
All right. So now I'm going to explain a little bit how this magic works, because it is truly magic. Each server, when it came up and the replication layer realized there are 3 servers, we assigned different zones to those servers. And we said, OK, server 1, you are the authority over the purple area. Server 2, you are the authority over the green area. And the last server is authoritative over the red area. You can still see that those servers have all those entities replicated, but only the entities within their zone are actually authoritative on that server. So while I'm in this green zone at the moment, my entity is simulated on that green server and just replicated on the other server. And now, as I transition between those zones, you will see that on that green server, I just lost authority, and on that purple server, I just gained authority. And because my player was replicated on both servers, this completely works seamless. And again, let's do that a couple of times. You see on my client here, I don't notice anything of that. This all happens behind the scene. And this
not a
doesn't
single
work
jitter.
only on me. Let's turn on the zone colors and the object, the authority assignment on the client as well. You can see that even entities, as they transition into the other zone, seamlessly transition to that zone. And not only that, I can also interact with entities that are on the other side. So if I go on this green zone, for example, and I shoot this, I can still shoot that purple entity. And I can also just go ahead and destroy that buggy which sits on that other zone. There you go. Always fun to blow stuff up, right? All right.
They've been
So
doing it
there's
for
more
10
to
years.
this. The first thing I will do, let's spawn a fresh buggy. I just destroyed my old one. When I go into this buggy, I will become part of the aggregate. And that means that now my buggy and myself will transition authority together. And this is how we make sure that my player, while he's driving this buggy, is always authoritative on the same server. So you can see, as I drive around with this buggy between the zones, I will switch between the different servers. All right. But there's more to this. So remember when I turned on the streaming earlier? The same streaming mechanics work here as well. Like, obviously, in this example right now, you can see all those servers, they have all those entities replicated. And it's a little bit wasteful because you have 3 servers, all need to replicate all those entities. And that's where streaming comes into play. I can turn on streaming here, and you will see that suddenly my purple server no longer has the red area streamed in. And the red server no longer has the purple area streamed in. So let's see what's happened when I drive my buggy backwards into that into the red zone. What happens on that purple server? And I just disappear. So right now, on this server, there's only Benoit replicated. And Benoit, if you come to me over in the red area, you will see that now on this server, there's no client at all. And in theory, we could now completely stream out the entire area on that server, or stream in a new area. And you will also see, as I drive back into the green area, I will magically reappear on that purple server. And this obviously works on the other side as well. Let's get a couple more player join. I have a couple more QA in the back, so you can just see the whole thing running at live. running in live with a bit more things going on.
Wonder how many they're gonna have connected.
Yeah, I wish they would have shown this like
and you will see on each
at a
server
larger
renderer
scale.
which clients are currently replicated on those servers and which clients are actually authoritative on those servers. And you can see this, the green server, because it's the middle one, has most entities replicated. And then you can see this purple one at the moment only has one client replicated.
It's kind of crazy watching players disappear on one but not the others.
Yeah, I wonder how that works if
So
you
yes,
like
this is
if a whole party 30Ks.
Right. Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. It has been a long time to come to this point, and I just can't put in words how much tech and work we had to put into this. Big shout outs to the network team, big shout outs to the online services team, big shout outs to Chris to let us doing this.
That beautiful bastard.
It's been a really long journey to get to this point. And I've got to say, the team has done an amazing job. They've been working diligently for the last 4 or 5 years. We've had a couple of false starts. We finally have an incredible, I mean, the way the replication layer works and how we can spin up servers and down and keep the state constant, even if a server goes down, is, I think, a genius design. And the first time I saw this, about 3 weeks ago, working fully, I cried. It's like giving birth.
We did it!
And we wouldn't have been able to do this and work on this kind of tech without all your support.
That's right.
100%.
Now, you guys
and your trust.
allowing us to take the time to do it right, to really build it. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So much for everyone, and thank you everyone at CIG that's really worked hard to deliver all this amazing stuff.
He does look so proud.
Either in your hands now or in your hands very soon.
I'm sure he is.
And this is just the beginning of CitizenCon. We got a lot more stuff to show you.
Yeah.
That's what we need for this MMO, guys.
Thank you.
That's what we need.
Great demo, by the way.
Man, look at CIG doing it.
Did you catch that he said he saw it working for the first time 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, yeah.
So this is like brand new stuff.
They were really cutting it close with getting it in time for CitizenCon.
Yeah, and man, I mean, it looks great and seems like it's going to change how the game is played, and no more 30Ks. That will be crazy. I can't imagine a Star Citizen without 30Ks, but might be a reality sooner than later.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out on October 31st, right? First time that people will be able to get their hands on it outside of, I guess maybe people that played at CitizenCon. But
one of the devs did say, I forget which one it was, they mentioned that this does work at scale. What they said anyway. So how this works between like planets and with ships and all that kind of stuff. I wish they would have shown a little bit, but I guess they only had like, a few weeks to get it ready and stuff. So
right. And I wonder if when people were playing Pyro at CitizenCon, like I'm assuming that was a LAN network, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it had this replication tech running. I think it was just straight up like the Stanton build, but with Pyro. And I think some people said that they couldn't jump past like the 3rd planet or something like that. So it was a little like limited, I believe. But yeah, I don't think they were testing replication layer. It was all like a LAN setup, so local servers and everything. So I'm really interested to see how it works next week on that preview channel and everything.
Yeah, the 31st is going to be crazy. I suspect that it might not be super easy getting into that preview channel on day one, just from the
Yeah.
sheer amount of people hitting it, depending on how many invites they send out.
Yeah, I think they're only
first.
inviting Evocati, concierge members, and then I think they randomly selected some people that went to the con.
Okay.
So that's a fairly small group, I feel like, compared to the overall amount of people that were trying to log into like 318.
Yeah.
So, and we'll have, it's going to be a separate, we'll have live and the preview channel, and then probably within the next few weeks, a PTU patch also. So maybe that'll kind of spread everyone out a little bit. But yeah, first day they let like everyone into Pyro. I could see that being a rough day or two to get in. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be. But if history repeats itself, then it might be a rough few days trying to play Pyro or something.
Yeah. And, it's not something that's necessarily just unique to Star Citizen, right? Like if you think about big MMO launches, like how many of those ever really go smoothly? Not many. It's not impossible, but it doesn't happen a lot, So.
I can't remember like personally any recent MMOs that have launched, which obviously they aren't launching to like live or like, beta or anything.
Right.
And the other games we're comparing it to were fully finished games like New World, Diablo 4, both had pretty rough launches. But yeah, so it's not uncommon, but yeah.
Right. So, I'm not going to go into the preview channel going live and expecting a smooth experience. I'm hoping for one.
Yeah.
But anyway, it'll be interesting to check out one way or another. It's Star Citizen, so never quite know what to expect when a build goes online all the time. But anyway, yeah, this was cool to see though. It was very very techy, I guess. They were obviously trying to simplify things, but I still found myself struggling with the concepts a little bit.
Yeah. Especially towards the end there where like that one server was streamed out, but like people in your party could still be on it, know? That kind of part was a little strange to me. I didn't fully understand, but I'm sure they have a plan for everything. So I'll just have to see how it scales.
Yeah, it was cool seeing the visuals though. Like they helped. Still don't understand it all, but they did help. So, and ultimately, dude, it's just good to know that it's working. It's finally here, and it's infancy still, right? They're saying this is just early tech, early stages, but it is working. And we've been waiting for quite some time.
I think everybody, kind of breathed a little sigh of relief there. Like even though it's not coming, like dynamic server meshing isn't coming like anytime in the next couple of months, probably, it's still good to know that they have, a good idea. Like we've always heard they like had these ideas of how to make it work, but them actually showing us was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And with all that said, Star Citizen is a scam, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye. Just kidding. But seriously though, thanks everybody for tuning in to this reaction. What are your thoughts on server meshing? How do you think the launch of the preview channel with Pyro is going to go? Do you think things are going to be fairly stable within Star Citizen standards, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to log in and get into the game? Also, we have done another reaction video on the Squadron 42 I Held the Line video, and episode 1 of our podcast is on the YouTube channel as well. In case you've not checked that out, be sure to do so. We're on Spotify as well with the podcast, and Twitter. We've got an Instagram as well, at CommLink Pod. Silvius, this was fun once again. Appreciate you
man.
taking the time to do this.
I've enjoyed doing these videos so far, and excited to do more. So, see where it goes.
Yeah, and it's just the beginning. So if you want to come on this journey with us and watch the channel grow, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.